Hello, Susan here. I've never done Instagram Live before, so is it happening? I'm going to assume that it is. Hello, hi. I see people joining. I'm so glad you're here. I am happy to be able to practice meditation with you. We're going to sit together for a short period, 15 minutes or so. I want to give people a time to join. Hi. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm assuming you can hear me. So if you can, if you would tell me so, that would be great, because otherwise it'd be kind of pointless. So as we get started and get settled for our meditation together, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing to work with your mind. Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for being with me and with each other at this very momentous, portentous, is that a word? Time on planet Earth. It's good that we can be in it together. I am a meditation teacher. If you don't know me, hi. I'm founder of something called the Open Heart Project. I've been practicing Buddhism and Buddhist meditation for over 25 years. And I say that because it is at a time like this, not that anybody ever has been at a time like this, where if your spiritual practice could really come under question, like, wait, there's a lot of emergencies happening, there's something really urgent, my spiritual practice is going to have to wait. And it is at a time like this where you see, well, actually, this is the perfect time to employ and lean in to my spiritual practice. It is not an escape. It is not a way of tuning things out. It is not a hiding place. I feel myself getting angry as I even say that. It is not particularly a way of achieving peacefulness. So sorry to mention that. But it is actually a way, it is an instruction manual. Our spiritual practice is a guide for how to act, what we can do, and how to hold our minds when times are rough, and times are rough right now. So thank goodness we have this practice to turn to, the practice of meditation, which we're going to do very soon. If you have a practice, that's great. It's a great time to be grateful that you have been trained in how to work with your mind. I make videos and send newsletters and stuff to people on my mailing list. And at first, when the pandemic first started, I thought, well, I probably should just focus on not Buddhist teaching thingies, but more what is helpful when you feel like your world may be crumbling or threatened. And then, of course, I realized, well, the Buddhist teaching thingies are exactly what is useful. So I want to share something very briefly with you before we practice. In Buddhism, there's something called the Six Paramitas. Some of you may be quite familiar with this. Paramita means transcendent action. And my mind has been turning to the paramitas over and over again during this crisis for a variety of reasons. One is that they are actions. The six paramitas are not six transcendent ideas. They're six transcendent things that you can do. And right now, I don't know about you, but I want to know what to do. Not just what to study and what to contemplate, but what can I do? Because we each need to do something. And we don't want to do things that add to the confusion. We want to do things that mitigate confusion, of course, and that inspire and give confidence to others. So let's just take a very quick peek at what does this mean, six transcendent actions. What are you transcending? Because as I've been taught, meditation is not a practice of trying to get anywhere. It is the practice of trying to be somewhere. It's a very important distinction. So we're not trying to transcend into some other way of being or outside of the human realm. So what do the six paramitas help us transcend? So we start here. on the shores of confusion and uncertainty and doubt and grief and anger. All of those things make total sense. Chaos, even insanity. And we want to go to the other shore, as it's sometimes called, the shore of decency, peace, sanity, clarity, wisdom, compassion. Well, that seems like a pretty far journey right now in some ways. In other ways, it's like, wow, there's so much wisdom and compassion in the air right now. But nonetheless, it can seem like quite a distant journey. It isn't. It isn't. The 6 Paramitas are like the 6 oars of the boat that help you get to the other shore. And the first paramita, I'm just going to mention the first one, is called generosity. And that, I don't think anyone needs to make a case of why generosity is important or valuable or needed right now. In some of the Buddhist practices I've done, there's a line, generosity is the virtue that produces peace. So if we want to live in a peaceful world, generosity, that's what we need. That's the virtue that produces peace, and of course I know we all do. So in the Buddhist view, there are generosity takes 3 forms, and I just want to go through them very briefly, and then we're going to sit together. We're going to meditate together. The first form of generosity is called giving material goods. So that's exactly what it sounds like. Someone is cold, you give them a sweater. Someone is hungry, you give them some food. You want to give money to people and things you believe in if you can afford to. Even if you can't, you can give good wishes and good thoughts. You want to, there are people who need things, and we are among those people. But there are people who need something more than you needed. We can find a way to offer these material things: food, money, shelter, clothing. These things really, really, really matter right now. So if we can find some way to be generous in that sense, that's great. The second form of generosity is called giving the gift of Dharma. Dharma means wisdom. I think of it sometimes as giving the gift of support and clarity. So it doesn't have to be the Buddha Dharma, but giving the gift of Dharma means offering something to someone that you know, not that you read, that you know, that you believe will be helpful to this person, and that you further believe that they actually want to hear. Because all we have to do is go online right now. Maybe I'm guilty of this myself right now. There's a lot of advice being given, and much of it is beautiful, but even the most beautiful is not useful unless there is an opening to receive it. So the second form of generosity, giving the gift of Dharma, means offering something from your wisdom. Not you read. I read that it's good if you do this. That's not wisdom. What is wisdom is something that you have learned, that you have then tested against your experience, and that now you can corroborate as true. Now it's your wisdom. Your mind mixes with the teaching, and that is what is most important. So before you give anyone advice or try to offer something useful, ask yourself, do I really know if this is true? And the third form of generosity, most salient and powerful right now, is called giving the gift of fearlessness. Giving the gift of fearlessness. How do you do that? Because we're all afraid. There's things to be afraid of right now, y'all. How do I give the gift of fearlessness when I am still when I'm afraid? And I'm sure right now we're all going through tremendous waves of being really, really afraid in an unprecedented way. And then, okay, let me just do the dishes or lie down. Oh, I'm not so afraid right now. Now I really am. So we're all on this boat that's being rocked, I was going to say violently, but roughly. And so how do I give the gift of fearlessness even in times when I'm afraid? Well, you can. You can give it to yourself to begin with. One of the great and profound definitions of a spiritual warrior is one who is not afraid of herself. So that's where we start. Don't be afraid of what you feel. Of course, if you have trauma or psychological issues of a certain kind, get all the help. And this may not be the perfect time to delve into your emotional life, so take it with a grain of salt, what I'm saying. But otherwise, don't be afraid of what you feel. Don't be afraid of fear. That's the ground of fearlessness. It doesn't mean we're not afraid. It means we're not afraid of being afraid. So fearlessness begins with the willingness to feel. And meditation practice is the practice of allowing ourselves to feel. So whatever we think meditation may be, and whatever it is you think, it's probably true, it is that. It is also a path to fearlessness, because it is a way of removing every obstacle between you and your own heart, your own wisdom, the truth of your experience. So quite potent and quite personal and quite perfect. So let's sit together. Let's do this practice together. Well, we'll sit for a short time, 10 minutes, let's say, and I'll give instruction. So let's do it. So the most important moment in your meditation practice is the moment before you begin. So you want to take your seat. You haven't started yet. Let go of anything you hope for from your practice or from your life. Let go of anything you're afraid of in your practice or in your life. And let there be a sense of openness. I actually don't know what's going to happen. Open space. If it helps, you can imagine like your head, top of your head is open to the sky, and there's no difference between here and the open space of the sky above. At the same time, you're just sitting there, so no big deal. Establish your posture. And the basic idea is to sit up straight. If you're sitting on a chair, your feet can be flat on the floor, or your legs crossed loosely in front of you on a chair, or if you're sitting on the floor. And if you don't feel well, you can lie down and pretend you're sitting up straight. And just kind of rouse that feeling of upliftedness in your body. Pretending counts. And feel heavy from the waist down. Like you're right here. And this, from the waist down, is your ballast, your anchor. It holds you in place. And it's firm, and it's strong, and it's rooted. It's not fooling around. The hands rest on the legs, palms down. And there's no mudras or work for you guys. Take a break. You work hard all day. Just relax. So let the hands rest. And let all the doing go out of the hands. Just really let them soften. And let your front body relax, your belly. And when you feel like you've let your belly relax, relax it a little bit more. So there's a sense of spreading and opening in the lower abdomen, and you can imagine that spreading will continue to happen even when you take your mind off of it. Soften the area around your heart. Very tender and very strong. And soften your throat. 3 gates: the gate of intuition, the gate of emotion, the gate of speech. I'm not sure who designed it, but they're always open. We can relax with that sense of openness and softness in the front body because we have the strength and ferocity of the back body to support us. So feel that in yourself, this strong back, soft front, and their inseparability. And let the shoulders relax. In a time of difficulty, there can be a sense of pulling forward, like, uh-oh, but what's that? Or kind of reeling back, like, uh-oh, what's that? Well, we want to let go of both of those qualities energetically and just sit up straight. Nothing to ward off, nothing to avoid. The mouth is closed, but the lips and teeth are slightly parted. And the reason the mouth is closed is because you don't have to talk. That's a luxury and a delight. So please enjoy your own silence. And notice, if you will, that there is nobody in here talking. As loud and vociferous and speedy as it can feel in here, there actually is no one talking in here. It is quiet. Yay. So you can rest into your own organic silence. The breath is natural, in and out through the nose. And in this particular practice, the eyes are open, and the gaze is cast down to a spot in front. Whatever is comfortable, given your screen. And let the gaze be soft, with the sense that vision is not laser pointing, but streaming from the eyes like rays of the sun and mixing with space as sun rays do. And the reason the eyes are open in meditation is because this is a practice of wakefulness. Very important to be awake right now. Now, let your attention rest on the breath, which means feel your body breathe. This is not focusing on the breath or observing the breath. It's feeling the simple motions of the body. The gentle inhale, expansion, and the release of the exhale. An expansion and a letting go. Feel that. And let your attention rest on that sensation. Breathing in and out. Your mind continues to make thoughts? No problem. That's what it does. And that is not a big deal. We're not trying to stop thinking. That's crazy. We're not trying to change thinking in any way. No big deal what's going on up there or in there. Most of your thoughts will just come and go on their own. You don't have to do anything about those thoughts. They won't really distract you too much from your breath. However, if you notice that you've become fully absorbed in thought to the point where you've completely forgotten about your breath, that's good too, because you just woke up. So you can celebrate that. And here's what you do. You notice that you're thinking. Let go. And the letting go is like very gentle. Like you opened a closed fist and a feather just blew away. Come back to your breath. And begin again. Feeling the in-breath and the out-breath. And the amount of times you are allocated to come back, the amount of fresh starts you may have in meditation is endless, infinite. So you can relax. And we'll just sit together for a few minutes. And if you get lost, just come back to your breath. If you're just joining, welcome, welcome. We're sitting. Please join. To bring your meditation to a close, stop meditating. Just let the technique go, and let there be a clean edge between your meditating mind and your post-meditating mind. So I hope that that was useful. I've never done, this is my first Instagram Live, so I don't know if you have questions. Can I answer them? Not quite sure. If you have questions, let me know. I'll figure out how to answer them. And I'll come back tomorrow, if that would be, because I want to do this. And again, if you have questions or comments, please let me know. And if you're watching the recording, ditto. But let's formally close. And if you're just joining, we're closing. You're welcome, everybody. It's a delight. So let's close in a semi-formal way. You can make prayer hands or not. You can make prayer hands in your mind. You can just think of the people you love, yourself, people here meditating with you, all the people, everywhere. And please accept my wish for you. And as I wish this for you, think of someone and wish the same for them. May you be well. May you be safe. May your loved ones be well and safe. And may your immune system kick ass. This is my wish for you. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being strong. Thank you for practicing with me.